Alright, how we doing, boys and girls? Your boy Marcus 12005 numbers after the name. Unfortunately, since I was on vacation for a while and I haven't done videos, wasn't able to put this up a little bit earlier, but I wanted to make sure I threw some Titanfall 2 gameplay up, man, from the beta, and I wanted to make sure I gave Titanfall a little bit of love over here. I was playing on the Xbox One, my preferred system, and definitely for shooters, my preferred system, even though my preferred system for pretty much everything, but no knock on the PS4, it's great as well. And over here we're playing, I guess this is the bounty hunt mode, or the bounty mode, where you kind of kill people and then get money, and then you got to go and deposit in the bank. Alright, let's talk a little bit about Titanfall 2. Gameplay-wise, very similar to Titanfall 1. It's amazing. I'm not saying that it's similar, I'm just saying that both of them were really good. There's a grappling hook, this one that adds to a whole other ability in terms of where you can go and what you can do. I didn't really have it necessarily down packed throughout the beta, but it plays pretty smooth. If you play the Batman game, you get at least a general idea of what it could do. Even though this one's a lot, I think, I don't want to say looser, but maybe a lot more lenient. Whereas Batman kind of attaches you to only certain surfaces, this one you could kind of attach yourself to a lot more options. If we give that self an explanation, I believe Syndicate has a grappling hook as well that you use. Unfortunately, Assassin's Creed, unfortunately, I haven't played it yet. This one I'm still looking to get into. I'm glad they didn't release an Assassin's Creed this year. I'm glad they're taking the year off because I need to catch up. So go ahead, take the year off. Matter of fact, maybe take 2 just in case. But I'm hoping to get that down this past winter. I'm hoping some snow days this winter, man. That's what we need. We need some snow days in our lives. Man, let's pop this guy over here. This is good. This little area right here, I'm going to give you guys tips for a game that isn't even out yet on the map that will probably be out on it. But this little area right here I found very good for going around and just flanking. I was, and as you can tell right here, man, we popped 2 and this guy kind of lost, but very cool to flank around this whole area. So, let's talk about this game mode specifically, and we'll talk about the other game mode that I played, and then I could give you some impressions of the game. This bounty mode was cool. I didn't have no problem with it. The main issue I had with Titanfall 1 was I didn't really like the fact that there was all these CPUs, and then you fought the CPUs, and that allowed you to get your Titan quicker, and that your Titan was kind of the only version, like a kill streak you could get, and everyone gets it, whether you're good or bad, you just get it quicker, and maybe you get it one more time than the other person. I didn't really like that. This mode doesn't really change that too much, right? There's still grunts, you still go after them. There's just some other robots over there, some different people, and then there's some pilots, and you kind of meet each other if you do, and if you don't, you don't. In all fairness, I guess if the other team's full pilots and you're full pilot, you don't want to hit each other, you don't have to. You kill the grunts and just keep on moving. That's not what's gonna happen. But you could do that in theory over there, and you could have a really good game just off of killing grunts, which is fine. It is perfectly fine for this game. It's just not something that appeals to me. That's not the level of competition I'm looking to get. There's one issue over here with the bounty, and maybe there's a different game mode that applies. Maybe like it's a King of the Hill game mode or something like that. But I had an issue when I first heard about this. I was like, oh, this is cool, because I'll kill the grunts, and then we'll have to meet and deposit this thing at the deposit place, and then either I'll kill you, you'll kill me, or maybe I'll go a little bit earlier. There's a lot of strategy to that. But there's 2 things to deposit on, and they're both on different spawn. Like, there's one on your spawn, there's one on their spawn. So, in essence, you don't really have to go to theirs, and they don't got to go to yours. Now, is there some strategy as to whether you go to the other one or whatnot? Sure, there is, but you don't have to. And if you want to, like, when I tried, I think I win this game, I played it safe, I went back to mine. Initially, I was always going to theirs, and I'd get, like, 2 kills maybe, and then I'd get popped or whatever. I never really had the opportunity where it worked, like, to perfection. I also had issues over here when people grappled onto me. I immediately couldn't find them. Now this guy, at least I found him, and he popped me, whatever. But at least I found them. Oftentimes it was my Titan. I couldn't find the damn person who was on. It was a lot easier in 1, but I think now there's a lot more options as to getting on and off the Titans and what you could do on and off the Titans. I mean, look at how generous that grappling hook was right there. My Jesus, Jesus. So that's my issue. I think if there was one bank, it would be a lot better, right? We could all kind of go and try to fight to deposit over there. Maybe if the deposit was quicker, we kind of sneak in deposits. I don't know. I think you could do a little bit better if there was just one bank. The 2 banks kind of took it out of me. I think there's 3 waves. The first 2 are kind of just guards, and the third one has maybe some heavier equipment over there. Never had an issue with them. They're still stupid easy. I mean, they literally are. Grunts in this game are just ridiculously easy, where you'll see here as I rip through them. I just walk through them, and you could honestly just hip fire your way through them. And very, very rarely have I ever died to them in either Titanfall 1 or in this alpha. I guess this wasn't a beta. My apologies, this alpha. Never really even considered that over there. A second issue I have with this game is that everyone gets a Titan. I'm all for everyone having a great, video game experience, knock yourself out. When I'm looking to play a competitive online shooter, I'm looking to be rewarded for how good I'm doing, and I'm looking to punish the other person that I'm playing. I apologize. I'm not out here to make friends when I'm playing a game like this. I'm playing Call of Duty. I want to put my wraps up. I want to throw up my VSATs. And guess what? If you don't want to be on this side, either get good or get out. One of those two options. When I play Titanfall, all of a sudden, I feel like I'm not being rewarded for putting in the time and the investment. I'm going to get a Titan whether I play great or not. Like, I'm going to get one. And guess what? The other guy's going to get one too. And there's a chance where, I don't see his Titan, he sees me, and he pops me, and there he goes. And all of a sudden, the guy's got a great game. Maybe necessarily not based off his greatest merits. It's part of the game. It's a part of the game that to me doesn't really appeal, unfortunately. Which sucks because the gameplay is really smooth and the gameplay inside the Titan's good and the gameplay outside of his person is really good. It brings me to this mode though. There's a pilot versus pilot mode, which was exciting. I don't think it was in the original Titanfall. It's something I hated because I really don't like these grunts being on the battlefield. I don't need no CPUs on our battlefield. So there's a pilot versus pilot mode. There's a catch though. No Titans. I was like, okay. I don't know if in the end there'll be a pilot versus pilot mode with Titans. That will probably be my ideal version of how to play Titanfall. Because pilot versus pilot mode is ultimate skill, which is great. Now, hopefully I'm not being too picky over here, but I ain't looking for no ultimate skill either. I ain't looking for no like Final Destination, Smash Brothers, no items kind of deal. I'm looking to have some fun. So like I'm not really looking. I want to be compensated for my 5 kill streak in a row. Aside from just knowing that I had a 5 kill streak in a row and I'm like, cool, I'm the man, That's fine. I got that. I don't need that. I don't need to play a video game for that. I'm straight, cockiness 1,000%. Don't need that for the video game. What I need to give is entertainment. And I want to be rewarded. And I want to say, hey, man, I killed those 5 people. Guess what? Drop this mean Titan on them. That's what's up. And the power versus power mode, I don't really get that. You get the fun, you get the fluidity of playing the game, and ultimately, if I were to pick between the modes, I'd probably pick the pilot versus pilot mode. But wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of that. I still think it'd be used a little bit tweaks. In terms of gameplay, obviously, I love how you come into the maps. I think it's great. I think they really fleshed out, and this was in the original Titanfall, the experience of coming on and changing a little bit how we view multiplayer matches, from the old school Call of Duty formula of like, hey, let's just count down 10, 9, 8, 7, all that jazz, to like, yo, you're jumping in, and then I don't really like the epilogue that much, and partially because, and I end up cutting the video here at the end because I don't really want you guys to see that, but I was trying to flank around as the enemy was trying to get away, and eventually I got popped, and then that's it. I don't respawn, and I just watch somebody play for 45 seconds. Not interested in that. If you notice, I've never put any video up of me playing, for example, in Call of Duty, any mode, or maybe like Cores might have it, any mode where I have to, at some point, like Search, for example, any mode where I have to just watch someone else play. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. I think it's fine. If you want to do that, go ahead. Personally, I don't even play those modes because I'm trying to play. I ain't really trying to watch you play. If I want to watch you play, I'll watch some YouTube videos. I'll do that every once in a while. Maybe like at work or something, or maybe like when I get home with someone, I eat some dinner, I'll watch like a YouTube video if I want to see someone else play. I don't go to Search though and get popped, and I'm like, cool, I get to watch somebody play for like 2 minutes, and maybe they're good, maybe they're not. If you do, great, I'm sure. Let me tell you something. It might be ignorant of me, right? Like, it might be good for me to watch somebody else play over there at the end, and I'll learn something. I'm 100% sure I'll learn something, but it just doesn't speak to me. They maybe Call of Duty trained me too well in a different way, where it's like, go ahead, respawn, get me back in there. Now that's the epilogue, the game's ending, there's not really that much time to respawn in, right? There's really, I guess, no purpose to respawn. There's a bunch of stuff you can tell me there, and this is one of the few times that I actually managed to get out of my Titan before the damn thing blew up. I always felt so bad for the poor little guy, and this guy, I think, he managed to get out. I'm looking, I was like, I don't know where he is, he's got to land somewhere, and then I'm like, oh, shiznaps, a Titan! I wasn't able to crush anybody or call on a Titan on top of another Titan in this one. I did that in the first game, which I loved. It was so good. In terms of the Titans, it was 2 different Titans. This was from the first, I think it was 2 weeks of the alpha. I'm not even sure what happened in the second week. I think it was gone by then. But this was the first week of the alpha. And I believe the Titan that I'm actually using was the reportedly weaker Titan. There's one that like kind of puts fire in front of him. And you can't walk, which apparently is like the strong one. Mine had like a cannon. I thought that the laser Cyclops cannon was the strongest thing you could do, but guess not. They both felt pretty vanilla. You know, they're different. There's no doubt about that. They're both different, but they're not anything crazy different to the point where like you're like, oh, like I can't even use one or the other. I'm sure there will be differences very similar to that we had in the first one of, you know, heavier and lighter. And in the first one, I think it was the heavier one that everyone kind of went with. I don't really remember now. But there was ended up being a Titan where you were kind of like, yeah, it's probably the one you should use. And I'm sure in this one there will be that. It's very tight for the balance, and they do a great job. At least the two that we saw here in the beta, which is a little bit of a limited experience for us to count. But speaking in terms of what I've seen for the first game, speaking of what these guys at Respawn have done, they do a pretty good job of balancing the game. There's nothing here that seems too overpowered, because everything seems pretty good. Like, there's nothing really here that's too bad. I'm sure there is. I'm sure I'm sure someone's going crazy. It's like, well, you didn't use that shotgun. Da, 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 da. You're right. I did it. I literally used the first gun that they gave me throughout the whole stuff, because that first AR felt real nice. I was like, man, this thing feels real nice. But in terms of when I'm in a Titan or when you're on the ground and stuff, like, I clearly have an advantage. But you could take me out, man. Like, I had matches where I would go and take out the damn battery out of the people, put a nade up in there, put the battery in one of my own guys to give them life. Like, there's so much you could do. And I feel like this is a multiplayer game where you could play this thing for like 3 months and you'll still be learning stuff. That's one of the things that, one of the funnest parts about a new Call of Duty game is seeing like the new perks and being like, oh, like what is that? Like what exactly does that do? Or, you know, a new kill streak, like all of a sudden like counter UAV does something else and you're like, what? Like that's crazy. Or, you know, like for example in Black Ops 3, if you throw smoke, it messes up your radar, right? Like that's those little things to me, and this is when you get heavy into the Call of Duty game, but those little things to me bring a life, because we've seen a smoke grenade and all of a sudden it does something else, specifically in this game, and you learn that and you're like, oh, okay, well how can I play that to my advantage? And that's the kind of stuff that I feel like at Titanfall 2, you will probably be doing that for a substantial amount of time. You'll be going and being like, yo, like I know that X did Y. Oh, this is crazy. And I think this is the guy who laid down like the fire over there. But I don't know, man. I clapped it with the arm can. I thought that was pretty straight. Here's an issue though with Titanfall. This is something I ran into oftentimes when I was in the enemy team. This time it's in my favor. When the whole enemy team has Titans, it's just not that entertaining anymore. You know, when it's like 6 Titans against like 1 dude and you're not even close to getting yours, it's not too good. Check this out, man. You want to talk about verticality in the game. Woo! It's one thing that I'm not, and I still don't really fully know how this man like managed to pop, man. I think I watched the kill cam because I'm like, what, he just came up and he just pumped, but I punched you. Okay. Guess his punch worked a little bit better than my punch. You want to talk about verticality in this game, and I could play a little bit about Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare and how much move over there. Woo! This thing go up. That's one thing that I'm kind of, I'm like, it's like I'll deal with it because I'm not gonna play too much. But all that verticality in it, man, a lot of aiming up and down. B, not sure if I'm too interested in that. So Titanfall 2, man. Let me know if you guys will come check it out. Your boy Marcos, man. Deuces.